Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, and that's Finster doing her close-up. Actually, it's appropriate that she's doing her close-up because we're talking about film music, and in this case, oh boy, is this cool. It's Max Steiner's film score to the 1935 horror/sci-fi/fantasy/extravaganza, She, also known as She Who Must Be Obeyed. Did any of you guys used to watch Rumpole of the Bailey, that wonderful British series about the barrister and his wife Hilda, who he called She Who Must Be Obeyed? Well, She Who Must Be Obeyed is She. It's a novel from 1887 by what's the guy's name? It's like H. Rider Haggard or whatever his name is. Haggard was the author. Lots of fun, actually. Read the book, never saw the movie. Still haven't seen the movie, but I have the soundtrack. It's almost 70 minutes of solid music in vintage Max Steiner mode. It was actually his favorite film score. He thought it had some of his best music because, first of all, he said it allowed him to be fully modern. Because it was a fantasy adventure thing. And second of all, because it just needed so much help. I mean, the film needed all the help it could get from the score. And even when it came out, everybody who saw it said, whoa, what a great score. And it is. And it's been lovingly reconstructed by William Stromberg and the Moscow Symphony Orchestra and John Morgan. John Morgan does such fabulous work. And it's on their own label, which is Tribute, the Tribute label, which has a website. You can go find it. Let's see, it's like Tribute Film Classics. That's what it is. And you can download it, too. It's available on iTunes. I checked because I have it on my iPhone. I downloaded it, too. It's so much fun. Now, what is the story of this silly film? Okay, the story is really great. It's sort of the Macropolis case. Actually, it's about an immortal femme fatale. So she is a sorceress who bathed in the flame of life, and she lives in the hidden city of Kor, which is in a cave in Siberia somewhere. And she had a lover who she got jealous of and killed. And so she's been hanging around for the past few hundred years, waiting for the reincarnation of her lover. And the reincarnation happens to be like the grandson or the son or something of her original lover. And he's going to find the remains of his dead ancestor. And so he gets a search party together, and they hang out, and they find the hidden city of Kor. And she, that is she, who must be obeyed, naturally wants him to join her in immortality so that he should also bathe in the flame of life and gain immortality. But he's actually in love with Tanya, or someone like that, who's like the daughter of his guide, or anyway, And there's a human sacrifice, and of course they want to sacrifice Tanya, and they do this wonderful orgiastic ballet, and he saves her. And as they're fleeing, they run into She in the room with the flame of life, and she tries to lure him into it, and she steps into it herself to prove how fabulous it is. And the second time around, it doesn't work, and she ages 2,000 years and turns into a shriveled old mummy and dies. And they go home. And that's the story. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. But the movie was, for its time, just opulent and glamorous, and unfortunately, I mean, it's been colorized, actually, and it's one of its later releases. But it was done in black and white. But it doesn't matter, because Steiner wrote this extravaganza. Oh, my gosh. It was perfect, because you've got, I mean, the stuff that's in here is ridiculous. You have the saber-toothed tiger. You have a saber-toothed tiger and caves, and you have an avalanche. I mean, you get to do an avalanche, which is always good. And then you've got this 12-minute long or 10-minute long ballet. It's in the chamber of whatever it is, the Hall of Kings, pardon me, in the Hall of Kings. And it's a real honest-to-God dance piece, and people compare it to Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring. It doesn't sound anything like The Rite of Spring, but it does have a sort of modern Rimsky-Korsakov late Rimsky octatonic kind of exoticism to it. Let's put it that way. And between each dance, you get a big swat on the tam-tam, which is fabulous, of course. And then you've got, in the hall of the flame of life, where she gets all shriveled. Oh, it's unbelievable fun. It's beautifully recorded, very well played by the Moscow Symphony, wonderfully conducted by William Stromberg, who always does these things fabulously. John Morgan's reconstruction is incredibly sensitive. It's just beyond fabulous, and nobody knows about it because nobody knows the film anymore. And Max Steiner's stuff is still not as well known as it deserves to be. So, if you are a film music aficionado, or you just like really, really good incidental music, colorful and just unbelievably vibrant and rhythmic, and whatever is missing from the film is in the music. It really is. Steiner was right to be proud of it. He did a superb job. Get she. You owe it to yourself. Oh, and the film was by, who was the guy who did it? It doesn't even say who the guy was who did the film. It was Marion, what was his name? Cooper, Craig. Wait a minute. Give me a second here, just so you have all the info you need in case you want to go see the movie. I'm going to see the movie, actually, too, because I just think it's going to be a lot of fun. But I haven't had a chance. Yes, Marion Cooper. That's the director, the guy or producer or whatever he was. So go for it. Get your Steiner she thing. You really owe it to yourself. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.